So I know there's a lot of YouTube channels out there, much larger than mine, that are always telling you how much they're making. I thought it'd be of interest to my group that's been following me. I've been on YouTube now for just over 3 years, closing in on 600 uploads to YouTube. And I thought it'd be fun to cover my passive income that I've been able to generate. Some of these have just come by nature of owning a YouTube channel. Others I've identified as being very, very personal to me and disciplines, really more so than passive income, but definitely fits the definition. And I deliberate all the time how I'm able to separate and really grow net worth in the way that I think that the masses can. But I'm always extremely intrigued as to how people continually struggle with their personal finance. And I think if you stay for the totality of this video and you really listen to the 10 income streams that I'm going to talk about, some, yes, social media related, and others more lifestyle changes, really just uh, changes and choices that you can make by nature of some of the financial decisions that you make, how you deal with some of your personal property, can really help you generate those pennies and dollars. And over time, it really does add up. It really does. So let's jump right into it. The first that everybody's interested in, and this is the passive income that I'm the least proud of, to be honest with you. Ad revenue has never been something that I've prescribed to or pursued with any type of aggressiveness. Anybody who knows follows YouTube channels and know this is really the backbone of income by placing annoying ads on videos. But for the independent investor channel, I fall within a range of $500 to $1,000. Now, 500 is a little bit on the conservative side from month to month, and definitely there is a seasonal twist to it. During the holidays, it's a little bit better. During the rest of the season, I may slack off on my upload frequency. You guys know that I do YouTube part-time. This is not a full-time gig for me, and certainly some of these numbers may be affected by that decision of mine, but it's great for me. It continues to feed my creative desire to provide content, but not to be stressed out all the time, to be continually feeding the beast with content. So the ad revenue is definitely important, and I know there's a lot of small YouTube creators out there like myself that may enjoy understanding. Look, if they could get a hold of an extra 500 or $1,000 a month, that they could really put that money to use. And that's really the key. I think a lot of YouTube channels will come on and tell you how many, tens of thousands of dollars that they're making. But what they fail to mention is what they're getting hit with taxes and what they're actually doing with that money. I'm more interested in the latter, to be honest with you. And you guys would be happy to know that every bit of money that I make through the social media experience is surplus capital, that of which I invest 100% of it. I don't render any one dime from my social media experience. I invest every bit of it. Second on the list is my most lucrative. And I thought it worth mentioning. It is one of the newest additions to the independent investor opportunity. It's one of those that a lot of people don't see eye to eye on. But being that I do promotional videos for companies that are kind of fly by the night or fly under the radar type of names, names that you wouldn't know about. I've never heard of any of these companies I've been asked to cover, but by nature of me getting in and doing a little bit of a deep dive, I'm on an average of doing about four requests to do promos per month, which is shaken out at around $3,600. Okay. I've just settled on my compensation package. That's looking like it's going to hold true. I do have two companies that I deal with. One is much more consistent than the other. And so I just figured the one that was consistent, and I would consider the other a bonus. When it happens, it happens. When it doesn't, it doesn't. But four promotional videos per month really helps to boost the bottom line and really add to that passive income base. Very, very simple. I do the work up front. I get paid very, very lucrative for the service. It becomes permanent content on the channel. And there you go. It's and we're off and running. So 3,600 on the bottom line there really helps to boost that opportunity. The next on the list is actually my most favorite. And affiliate marketing is something that I'm very careful with. Okay. Anybody who's followed me for a while knows I don't cover Robinhood. I could. I'm very critical of Robinhood. I know there's a lot of investors out there that use it as a primary broker, but since I don't like it, and I don't endorse the product for the sheer fact they don't have retirement accounts, I can't, in good faith, enter into an affiliate agreement. And I know there's different schools of thought. Go for the money, Ryan. I'm not like that. I have to use the product and I have to really enjoy the product to be able to roll it out through an affiliate. And the three affiliate programs that I'm most proud of, one of them I do not generate income from, and that is Canva. All of the visual art that you see through the channel, everything that you see via thumbnails is all generated through Canva. I have Stock Rover, which I think has completely taken the place of all dividend trackers out there, all spreadsheets. There's no need for that. Stock Rover does it all in a professional manner. And then the most important one that I have is my affiliation with M1 Finance, that of which I have two taxable brokerage accounts with. And I roll those out periodically on the channel. But all told, affiliate marketing programs bring in $1,000 of passive income for the channel. So that absolutely adds to the bottom line. The next is the Storefront. This is one of my newest additions. This is powered through Shopify, and this is my website. Now, my website allows me to do blogging. It allows me to offer products. It allows me to really springboard people into my multiple social media properties. And I will just say this: the Shopify storefront renders me about $150 per month on the low end. That also adds to the passive income bottom line. Now, the products that are offered are springboarded into the private WhatsApp group, the private Slack group, the M1 Finance Opportunity, where I engage in personal coaching, life coaching, budget discipline, things like that. Anything that somebody wants to talk about on the life coaching side of the house, I make myself available once per year for a 30-minute Zoom session. I'll tell you, I go over on every one of those. I'm pretty devoted to helping people, and that's exactly what I do. But 150 there on the storefront for passive income. The next is my most enjoyable, and that is the podcast, and it is the least lucrative of the group here. But the podcast I find is super important. This gets me out through about 8 different podcast conduits. And the Independent Investor podcast I really see as being one of those avenues that I pursue in the long term. So the little bit of revenue that I've made, it's still in the account. I haven't rendered any yet, but I've got it at about $10 a month. That's fine. And you guys might think that's a waste of my time. I totally disagree. I enjoy doing it. I'm going to let that income stream build up over time. And when it builds up to something nice, we're going to go ahead and leverage that like I always do. And all the social media income that I make, it's all geared toward supplementing and feeding my financial program. So I invest 100% of this. I don't keep any of it. I don't live on any of it. I don't pay my rent with social media money. Okay. So just so you guys understand, passive, and then to leverage the passive into putting that money to work. Next on the list is tax and stimulus. Stimulus is very infrequent. I invest every bit of my stimulus. I do the same thing for my tax returns. But here's the thing: there are thousands and thousands of people out there that do not claim the correct number of dependents. Therefore, they're giving the government an interest free loan. Guys, this is passive income 101. Okay. Render the amount of dollars in your monthly paycheck that you need and put that money to work. Don't give the government an interest free loan just so you can get a fat tax refund at the end of every year. It makes no sense. And that's just a decision, just a lifestyle change where you're claiming the right number of dependents in your household. I didn't put any money on the dollar line to that. That's just a change and a preference that I think everybody needs to work at. And if you have 2 dependents in your house, claim 2. If you have 4, claim 4. Very, very simple rule of thumb there to make sure you're realizing the maximum amount of income per month there. Next on the list is eBay and Craigslist. I earmarked this at about $75 of passive income. Why? It's because we hang the clothes in the eBay storefront and we don't know when they're going to sell. But we have stuff in there all the time that's working for us all the time. And when something sells, well, then that's passive in nature. And the reason why I deem it passive is a lot of people, I think, allow their clothes to just sit, whether or not they put it into a hefty bag and they throw it in the attic and it gets stored, or they leave it hanging up in the closet. We're constantly going through stuff. And if we don't use it, we look to get rid of it. Now, the Craigslist, that meets a strategic edge for us in that we're always going through our furniture and items of larger size that we can deal with locally, that we don't use. And finally, the Facebook storefront as well. A lot of people prefer that. We don't use it, but that's just another option for you to go through and generate some of that extra surplus capital that you can put to work in a more strategic way. Um, Next on the list is credit card rewards program. I pay a zero fee to get a kickback. I put $100 on the bottom line. This is right on the money, actually. Went back and was able to look at what I've been able to render by just being part of a rewards program. And I've been able to garner over $15,000 of rewards that have helped me on the bottom line. Guys, for a working class guy like myself, that helps immensely. It really helps that bottom line. And you ask yourself, what is it that you're getting refunded for, Ryan? And most of the time, it's for those sunken costs like gas, food, fuel, clothing. I use my credit card for everything, but we don't frivolously buy anyway. So we're getting a little kickback on the things that we would have normally purchased anyway and getting a little bit of an incentive boost on our bottom line. But $100 goes to the passive income bottom line there. It's something for you guys to think about. The last two I will mention. And number 9 is probably the most important. None of this would be possible without my personal brand. The Independent Investor Channel, it reflects me. And so, if you're thinking about how to break into this niche and start to really solidify for yourself some passive income, start to consider yourself a personal brand. And if you don't think you have anything special to offer, you would be you would be mistaken. There's a lot of people out there that can benefit from what you have to say, whatever it is. My niche is with personal finance and investing. That's totally fine. But you need to figure out that personal brand because all YouTubers across the spectrum have one thing in common, and that's all we're trying to do is promote our personal brand. Okay. So very, very important. Everything kind of stems from the Independent Investor Project and my LLC. So something to really think about as kind of the backbone or the foundation of setting up the possibility for passive income. Would I have had the opportunity to do sponsorships? Would I have had the opportunity to do affiliate marketing had it not been for the Independent Investor Channel? The answer is a very, very simple no. And finally, I'll cover investing. I did not include investing in my bottom line. Okay. The passive income streams that I've declared to you guys, they are real. They were specific to me. And they did meet one very simple criteria for me is that passive income doesn't mean that you just have a money press in front of you and you just depress it and pull the money off of the printer. It doesn't mean that. There is a lot of work and a lot of hours that go into this project up front. And I think it's sometimes misconstrued that you do nothing and you just generate a ton of money. That is not the idea here behind passive income. But I wanted to leave investing off because investing is a whole nother category. I make a small fortune off of my investment portfolio, but I thought in all fairness, it would be better to declare to you guys what a small YouTube channel makes on YouTube. And I thought you guys would take particular interest in that since I haven't done it throughout the history of the channel. Thought I'd roll it out for you guys as a special treat going into 2021. Guys, thank you so much. Want to subscribe to the message, leave your comments at the bottom of the video. If you have any ideas, certainly leave those, share the message, bring them onto the channel. We'd love to have them. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the message. And good luck in your investment future.